are going to be waiting for 14 of you. Join quick. Link is in the chat. Andre, Elias, Esmeralda, Gladys, Leah, Mara, and Monica. Make sure the rest of you guys are joining. You don't want to miss out on this. Catherine, Amato, Elias, Desiree. Make sure you guys are all joining. All right. Make sure you're joining. We're going to go ahead and get started. Again, easy points here, guys. Don't miss out. Catherine, Julian, Elias, Desiree. Make sure you guys get connected. All right, so the first thing we want to talk about is the difference between macro and microeconomics, okay? Because this is important when we're talking about, studying these things, especially studying the American free enterprise system. We want to know, what are we talking about when we talk about the microeconomic portion of it? And what are we talking about when we talk about the macro? All right, so let's start with the macro side. So macroeconomics is a study of economic behavior and decision-making in a nation's economy. So when we're talking about macro, we're talking about this whole thing here, okay? We're talking about its entirety, the whole nation. So if we're talking about the smaller unit being the states, then the whole unit is going to be the United States, okay? All right. And now micro, again, if we're talking about units of states, the micro unit or the microeconomic would be California. Okay, so this is the study of behavior and decision-making in small units, such as households and firms. Okay, so it's important to know the difference between these, but question, for 3 participation points, first person to say it, why would I place a picture of the United States under macroeconomics and a picture of California under micro? Why would I do that? 3 participation points up for grabs. What do we think? Out loud, anyone? No? You gotta say it out loud, Desiree. Okay, how about I ump the ante? 5 participation points. 5. That's tremendous points. Okay, we're gonna skip over it. Nobody wants to say anything?
Bruh.
Why would there be a picture of the United States under macroeconomics and a picture of California under micro? All right, of course, under macro, we have the United States because it's the whole thing, right? And then California is that smaller unit, okay? All right, let's move to the next slide. Let's go a little in depth here. So the definition would be studies the economy as a whole and not just a single unit, but a combination of all. So it could be the combination of all the states, okay? The concern is national income, general price levels, national output, unemployment, and poverty. You guys already know that this is an economic study, so now you're just putting a name on it. Isn't that awesome? All right, so we love learning things we already know. So here's your prompt. It says it right on the screen. What is macroeconomics concerned with? And it's easy because it's provided right there on the screen. Miss Hunter, thank you so much. You're welcome. Gladys, Leah, Desiree, Alexis, make sure you guys are responding. Don't miss out on these points. Good, guys. So most of you guys were able to complete that. And yeah, it's associated with national income, unemployment, poverty, price levels. Again, when we're talking about unemployment, we're talking about the nation we're talking about the whole nation unemployment, right? Good. All right, moving on to the next one. Most of you good. All of you will respond. Awesome. All right, next one. Some of you are still working. I'm going to continue on. Don't yell at me. All right. Good. Most of us were able to finish that or are currently finishing. And we're all responding, so that is awesome. All right. While you guys are responding, here's what I have. I got a challenge for you guys. Now, this is pretty exciting and it's very competitive. Okay, so I'm offering 3 participation points to the first person that answers correctly on the next slide. It's a draggable slide, so you have to read the prompt, then quickly answer. The first person to do so correctly will receive 3 extra credit, or not 3 extra, 3 participation points. Are we ready? And thank you guys. Most of you guys were able to talk about what microeconomics is concerned with. Uh-oh, someone's already typing in the chat. I'm going to win. You guys are too competitive. All right, here we go. Ready? Go. If we were studying macroeconomics, which of these would we be studying? Someone's quick. Monica's got it. Dang, you're quick. Okay, keep going, keep going. What are we concerned with? You guys are too fast. This isn't fair because it's all dependent on whose internet is fastest. Right, macroeconomics, remember, macro is going to be the bigger unit, the big unit. Okay, so if we're talking about macro, the bigger unit, would we be talking the United States or California? Okay, what would we be talking about? That macro, that big unit, the overall, all the units put together, all the smaller units that is to make one giant unit. We of course would be talking about United States as a whole. Okay, so make sure you slide over to the United States if you're not on the United States. Okay, so California is a smaller unit. We're talking about the so your heart should be on the picture on the left. On the left. Okay, good. Most of us got there. Awesome. All right, we got another challenge. Next slide is another draggable. Are we ready? And some of you guys' hearts are going wild here. Okay, here we go. Ready, go. If we were studying microeconomics, which of these would we be studying? Oh, I got Desiree, Alexis, and Monica. Okay, I don't know which was what because I was reading the slides still.
Five hours later.
Now, if you know what I'm talking about, in a recession, GDP is going down, and a growing economy, GDP is going up, go ahead and drop a letter in the chat. Any letter, doesn't matter. Drop a letter if you know what I'm talking about. Thank you, Monica. Go ahead and drop that letter in the chat. Okay, so we see that now, right? So we see those little numbers there. So now what we want to do is we want to answer the second question, which is, what is it? I don't know because I lost the slides. Here we go. Where are they? You can do this. You can do this, Miss Hunter. There it is. All right. Why do you think there was a dip in 2020? So that's your second part of this question. Why do you think there was a dip in 2020? Think of all the things in 2020 that's happened. Name the one major thing that why our GDP went down or why our production slowed. Why would that be? Right, because of COVID-19. Most of you guys were able to get that. Awesome. Good, guys. Because of a pandemic. Yeah, in other words, a pandemic. Perfect. All right, now, most of us were able to get that. Now, what about this? How can they say what the GDP in 2021 is if 2021 hasn't happened yet? What is this word? What do we call this when we try to like guess the future? What is this word that starts with a P? Right? What is this called? When we try to guess the future, what is that? And economists do this all the time. Good. I see it. I see you guys getting it. Economists do this all the time. This is what they're paid the big bucks for. I see you, Desiree. I see you, Monica, on there. Make sure you're typing it in the go ahead and type it in the yeah, good. You guys got it in there too. It's called a prediction, right? Good. Most of you guys got it. I'm gonna move forward. Don't yell at me. Right. So this is called making predictions, right? And so it's important because say, hey, Esmeralda, next year, right? The GDP is going to be off the charts. And Esmeralda is like, dang, my business, I need to hire workers. I need to increase production so I can be a part of that, right? So business owners who think consumers are going to spend more money in the future will increase production and hire more workers. What do you think happens every Christmas, right? Everybody hires more workers. Okay, so of course that's called making predictions. Economists do this a lot. Of course, there are things that we cannot predict. Do you think people predicted COVID-19? No, right? Those kind of natural things, of course, it threw economists for a loop. However, they're paid the big bucks. All right, here's your last slide for today. This is what you're going to do. You're going to read these statements, and you're going to give a thumbs up if you think the statement's true, and a thumbs down if you think it's false. Desiree said The Simpsons predicted it. The Simpsons predict everything. They obviously have some very good economists running the Simpsons shows, obviously. Make sure we're responding to those things. This is your most important slide today. Elias, Leah, Mara, Amy, Ramon, Raymond, make sure you get those things going. Mara said, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say The Simpsons too. Obviously, we know where the highest paid economists go. They get hired to The Simpsons. All right. Good, guys. All right. So most of us were able to respond just in our last couple minutes.